Welcome to the Smarter Artist Show, episode 26, The Future of Story.
26, so it's like we've been back for a half year exactly.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, you just derailed me now.
I'm so sorry. Please
talk
continue.
more about that.
Dave can only do one thing at a time. Please continue, Dave.
Hold on, I gotta put my gum back in my mouth. Today we're talking about the future of story. How everything's kind of fucked, but also like
Wait. Not to interrupt you again, but how is that different? Like, couldn't you given that intro like at any time in the past 15 years?
How everything's fucked, but opportunity as well, and it's going to be an interesting subject. But let's start first with something cool.
All right. Do you have something cool?
Me? You're gonna make me go first?
Yep.
Why not?
I have two things in.
Oh. Wow, you're really ready. This is great. What do you got?
Yeah. Okay, first thing is a show, and I don't know if it's something cool yet, but I like the premise. It's actually something I've thought about, a short story I wrote about.
So this is something that might be cool?
It might be cool. It might suck. I don't know. The first episode is cool. It's called The Listener. It's on Stars. It's from BBC. It aired over there like a year ago with Rebecca Lowe. And she stars as a teacher who begins to hear a humming sound. And I've always been fascinated by weird sounds.
You have like a couple short stories like that.
Yes. So she begins to hear this sound, and it's like driving her like crazy, and like nobody else in her life can like hear the sound. But eventually she does find somebody that does hear it as well. And it kind of goes down a rabbit hole of, interesting, like mysterious sort of thing. And I don't know if it pays off or not. Like I said, I only watched the first episode. I think it's limited series, only 4 or 5 episodes made. So it might be cool, it might not, but if you like weird shit, if that sounds good to you, check it out.
I do like the something maybe cool. Dave, have you got to the part in Sugar yet with the reveal?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you?
We're caught up. We're caught up.
Okay, what did you think?
I loved it. I kind of was like leaning that way anyway. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, weirdly, and I kind of said it as a joke, but around maybe episode 3 or something, I said to Cindy, I bet blah 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 blah, but I was genuinely shocked when it was actually something true, because it wasn't a legitimate prediction. It was like a joke I was making. And
have you started season 2?
No, I'll wait until the episodes are out.
Okay, because season 2 is almost more of a traditional arc, like they're not leaning too much into the mythos.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if they're giving it up or if they're just kind of like spacing it out a little farther.
I imagine they're spacing it out. I mean, the first season barely, like, you didn't know what. Yeah. I mean, it was a mystery, but then like I don't feel like it ever overplayed its hand. I am almost done with 2 episodes to go on one of your previous something cools, which is Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed.
I don't know how I feel about that show anymore.
Wait, okay, so you did like it and now you don't? Is that the thing?
Like, I don't know how much my son is tainting it, but he's like, this is fucking like ridiculous. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, he's pointing out all these logical problems and how characters aren't acting like how they're supposed to, and the writing is weird. But then when I look online, like, everybody fucking loves it, and I'm like, I don't know what to think. Like, it feels like 2 different shows, and I like part of it. The other part feels like stupid. It feels like they got idiots writing part of it and then somebody talented writing another part of it.
I actually don't disagree with that,
okay.
But I'm having a good time with it. Like, I think it's fun. It's a fun
she's
watch.
A great actress. Orphan Black. is just amazing. If you've never seen that, watch that.
She is, and the show is having a good time, and I think that's what I want from my TV right now is just it's having a good time. I'm also watching or not watching. As of last night, I was watching, and I will no longer be continuing it. Is the last thing he told me. Have you seen that?
No.
So I'll give everything on Apple a benefit of the doubt because overall their quality is very high. Like the bar is high.
Not the movies as much.
No, their movies usually kind of suck actually. But for their TV shows, I think that like their batting average is very high. And I thought the first season was lukewarm, but I like Jennifer Garner and I like Reese Witherspoon, and it's her production company, Hello Sunshine, that made it. And I'm like, I'll give season 2 a time. Dude, it's boring. It's so boring. I feel like the settings are beautiful because settings in Apple shows are always beautiful, but that's it. Like the writing is, the acting is. It's just...
I'd like to put in that listening to you guys discuss now 4 shows that I've never seen and know nothing about is fucking fascinating. Because so far I know that there was a twist that something happened and Sean said blah 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 is going to happen, and then blah blah did happen, and then it's like this other show that I didn't see, and shit. I mean, I'm on board.
This is how it feels like when you talk to a kid about a show they're watching and you don't like have any reference whatsoever, and they just go on and on and on.
Yeah, let me tell you about the deep themes in Bluey.
What's your something cool, Johnny?
I have a Kickstarter running right now, and that's both cool and terrible at the same time. For those of you who've run Kickstarters,
like every Kickstarter ever.
My cool and terrible Kickstarter.
Yeah, so it's for a thriller that I wrote called Terminal, and it's at johnnybtruant.com/thriller because I'm that inventive. But it's what happens with a Kickstarter is you launch it and you get excited for maybe an hour, and then you obsessively watch the number waiting for it to tick up, and every 5 seconds that nothing happens, you realize you're a loser. So it doesn't matter how well it's going, and especially since it inevitably slows, so even if it's going well, which it's going fine, it's like you get to a point where like it just doesn't have that initial trajectory which you got used to, and you're like, man, it's been an hour, it's been 2 hours, I suck. So yeah, it's this nauseating thing that I'm going to be doing for like 8 more days. So
and you're doing abbreviated campaigns, right? Like they're not a month long. What are
well,
they,
it depends. So a good rule of thumb that I heard for Kickstarters was to make them as long as you can to go with the promotion that you have. So when I did the artist and author, I did that for a full month because I had a lot of promotion lined up. Because you're basically, there's always an S-shaped curve or an S on its side sort of shaped curve that happens where it climbs quickly at the beginning, it'll climb, you'll get another burst at the end, but in the middle it's this long slog unless you have a bunch of promo lined up, which I did for artist and author. But for these fiction campaigns, there's only so much I can do. Like I don't have a lot. I'm running some ads. I can tell my list. I can try to ask some other people to talk about it.
To the Kickstarter itself, you're running ads to the Kickstarter itself.
Yeah, and that's going well. Like that's working. I could probably ramp that up, but it's I think it ends the 23rd, I think of July. So yeah, so that's cool and awful at the same time for Terminal.
So how are you kickstarting it? Like, are you going to do the book anyway, or is it only if it reaches funding? How are you doing it?
No, it funded
right?
like in an hour or something.
Oh, okay.
So that's no problem. I think that with these smaller campaigns, it's like, so I'm doing one for Fat Vampire later, and that one's more like a true Kickstarter because I'm doing this really super elaborate like vampire grimoire with like metal corners on the hard leather bound hardback, and that's going to be expensive as hell, and I have to order a print run. So that's going to be one where if the demand's there, I do it, and if the demand isn't there, then I don't do it. But for something like this, it's like I'm going to sell it anyway. This is an excuse to do
it's just another platform play, right?
Well, but it's also a chance to kind of like do some stuff that you wouldn't normally do. So it's got a really badass special edition that I think is just super, super cool looking. and I'm doing a commentary, like an author's commentary, which I wouldn't normally do. And I'm doing like a book club thing where people can read it along with me, and we'll meet once each week. And so I wouldn't do that during a normal launch. So it's launching now. I'll wait a few months. I'll launch it on my store. I'll wait a month or two, and then I'll throw it on Amazon and wherever else, because I just don't give a shit about those places anymore.
You should make a bonus be like the highest tier possible, like the original recording where we come up with the idea.
What?
What?
Yeah, the original recording where we come up with the fat vampire joke.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's a
too.
podcast. So that's like, I mean, it wouldn't be an original recording. It would be like that meme where the guy tries to return the digital drawing of the spider.
Well, couldn't you turn the original recording into some sort of NFT?
Maybe. I'm really big on NFTs.
And NFTs, they're the future, man. I heard that.
Yeah, I want to be known as one of the people who saw through that bullshit right away.
You were on record. Do you remember we were on a call with somebody one time?
And I remember how awkward that call was with an NFT enthusiast explaining how amazing things were, and I couldn't keep my attention front and center.
No, the Slack was lit up.
I would also like to go on record as saying Meta is never going to become a thing, and it is not a thing, and it will never be a thing. So, fuck
Take
off.
that, Meta.
My other second something cool is okay.
Is this your something cool mistress?
Yes.
I didn't realize you had another one. Did you pivot to me, or did you?
No, I said I had two.
He said
I know, but did I interrupt you?
No,
well,
Sean
I
did.
invited you to interrupt. What's the thing?
So my other something cool is, okay, so when I'm working, like, and I'm doing a podcast and all this other stuff, and yesterday I was like looking through like podcast numbers and stuff, and I'm looking at the back end of the podcast, and we delisted a lot of our shows that are of, I guess, lesser quality, better off Undead and worse show
Which
ever,
I think is a mistake.
Yes. So I was like, are they on here? Because they're not available to like on iTunes or anything. So I'm like, are they on here? And then I found, and I'm like, oh, and my son, like, he comes in like to my office to like watch me work sometimes. I guess he's really bored, and he's heard about these shows, but he's never listened to any of them. So I start playing it, and he's just laughing his ass up. And I'm like, I don't know how far down that rabbit hole I want him to go.
Well, that's Sean's story.
Yeah, I've told you the story of like when Lottie heard these episodes for the first time, right?
Yes, you could tell it again. No, that might have been a
so I don't remember when. I think I said she had to be 13 years old or something. I don't remember the age that I said, but there was definitely an age. Like, you have to be X years old because your father's obnoxious, right? And we were flying home from California, and it was, I want to say this was 2017. So she was 15, which is old enough. I couldn't say no anymore. And she's like, "Hey, you told me I could listen to these when I was old enough." And so I was like, "Okay, fine." And so then we're sitting in the airport. She starts listening to it, and then we're on a flight. I'm sitting right next to her on a flight while she's.
Oh yeah, I remember I joked that she jumped out.
she's listening to the Soggy Biscuit episode, and I am just mortified. I'm just like, oh my God. And then like she just looks over at me like like total love and disdain. Like, both of them were there.
Yeah, but at least that was that wasn't started by us. We were complicit, but we didn't start it. It was those two Brits.
Yes, but
And Ray Chase
we encourage it. Oh, she
Later.
listened to that one too because she was a fan of Ray Chase for like
was
no what
until she heard the episode.
no she was a fan of Ray Chase for voice work,
Right.
And then we're like encouraging him to talk about like Dog and the Queen and all kinds of shit. Like
Morgan Freeman, Dog and the Queen.
We had an email asking when are we going to have Ray on again.
Oh, I'd like to have Ray on again. Ray's great.
I think he's
So, wait,
we
wait.
ruined his
So-
reputation.
When your daughter heard those episodes for the first time, is that before I met her or after?
No, after.
Okay, all right. So she still talked to me afterwards. So.
I feel like Lottie has a high threshold for that sort of thing, Dave. I don't.
Now,
with
here's a
Sean and all.
question. Now, I know Johnny, his favorite pastime is having dinner with his family and regaling them with whatever stupid shit I did that week. And that has to have been missed for the past few years at your house. I'm sure it's just a sad affair that you don't get to do that anymore. The question, though, is did your kids ever listen to those shows?
I played them in the cars a few times for them, but I cherry picked a little bit more not because I was avoiding things, but because there were things that I really wanted to show. Like the time when you got on all hot-headed about Olive Garden did the most unforgivable thing in the history of time. And then there's this long story, and then you get to the terrible thing, and Sean and I are just like waiting. We're still, and you go, that was it. That was the terrible thing.
It's like
My
a
favorite
comedian
was
saying
when,
that was the punchline.
Or the bear story.
But no, my favorite was the one where we were talking about whether or not you would lock your car.
That's a
And,
good
like,
one. Because somebody would get in and poison his big gulp.
and I mean, he was just like worst case scenario, Dave at his worst case scenario, and I just couldn't help it. I'm just laughing at him, and he goes,
So for all the listeners who weren't put off when they were discussing the movies that they didn't know because maybe they watched the movies, this is now this for them. So they get to experience it. And the people who haven't seen the movies and didn't listen to those old podcast episodes are like, why am I listening to this?
Yeah, we're so sorry. But yeah, that episode of where Dave's like, and then my friend, and then she blah blah blah, and she died.
The best part of that is that you're teasing all of these really well, and there's nowhere you can listen to them.
Dave, are you now in a excavation to find these all?
I found them all.
Or to post them all?
I don't know about that. Okay, so here's a true dilemma.
Wait, Johnny, do you know what we posted last week?
I do, and I was going to ask about it, but since the show's halfway over, I figured I'd wait to ask about it so we could have some topic.
The topic of this episode is just us talking about ourselves and the
Just
shit we did
change
in
the topic
past.
title to "We Talk About Ourselves" in obtuse ways.
It's not too
Narcissism.
late.
Yeah.
We haven't even announced a topic, right? Oh no, we did.
No, we
did.
announced it. You even gave Dave shit about it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh man, we're gonna get so many "It Is a Podcast" reviews.
But yeah, I have a true dilemma over whether we would release those or not. Just like, I feel like we'd have to listen to every one of them because to me,
Johnny will do it.
you know
Yeah,
how much
don't care.
you know how much I worry about things being taken out of context.
That's the number one reason to release them is your anxiety. Your anxiety is a
People
joy.
get canceled for like lesser things.
Yeah, but you have to have something worth canceling. Who gives a shit about
there
it?
is an episode called Dave Has Asperger's.
Yeah, I think he might.
Well, I think I do as well. Okay, so here's the thing. When this show is so long ago, I didn't even really know what autism was, and the story was we'd gone to
Wait,
dinner.
What?
I
Is it
didn't
in
know.
the 30s?
Oh my God. Okay, so I'd like everybody to think about who wins in what's about to happen here, because this is a story that nobody was protesting, but Dave's going to bring it up now and miscontextualize it. It's going to be great.
We'd gone to dinner, and I'm very particular about people like being around me, and we went to this place that we always went to every week. It was our weekly thing. And that particular week, they had an autism awareness dinner or whatever. And they had a whole bunch of autistic people. And it was the first time that I like really saw autistic people, like a lot of them.
As
And
people?
what's that?
No.
Like people? No. Like I think I'd heard of it, but I didn't really like. I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know anyone. And the thing was, like, it was just varying degrees, and I realized like the spectrum, and I literally like was so ignorant on this. So I saw the spectrum of people, and some people were like really like in bad shape, and like my heart just broke for them, and other people were just like
Recipients of your ridicule.
were what? Yeah, no, but other people were, highly functioning, and one kid in particular had come up to me, and he's like, "Hello," like while I'm eating, and he's just standing there watching me eat, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I remember this episode and feeling like a major asshole, even though I didn't like whatever, but. The thing is, after that episode and learning about autism and shit, I realize I'm fucking autistic as hell. Like I've taken
Johnny,
the
do you
test,
think this episode should be called "I am autistic as hell"? And we just keep
Autistic
going.
AF.
but it's so weird that like I could not even know about something and yet be something.
Wow.
I
Well, you
feel like
definitely
there are
defended
riches
yourself
to
on that
find.
thing that nobody was criticizing you about. No, they will now, though. Don't worry.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Right.
Just an example. Like that's just one of many things, like the shows that we have that just out of context. What does it sound like? I don't know. Whatever.
Do you guys want to do a bit where we take old segments and we call it Dave Defends?
Yes. Yes, I do. I love that idea.
All right. So, do we want to get to the topic?
Well, why bother?
I feel like we eventually should. It is the midway point.
Okay. So, the whole idea of this is how the landscape is changing for storytelling, and there's a few different things at play here. One of them is how AI is becoming more prevalent in the creation of content, and not just books, but like animation, video games, and movies. And it is an existential threat to many people's jobs, and obviously that is a problem. So the question is, where are we in a few years from now as the technology gets better and more people are basically edged out of creation? Like what happens? What is the future of, like, will shows and movies even like exist in the same way? Thoughts?
Yeah, I actually spend a lot of time thinking about this kind of stuff. So it's the question was like 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years, right? So 10 years, 1 year is like we're kind of there already. Like what's the writing on the wall? 5 years is how does that play out? And 10 years is are we here or dead? Like have the robots completely won? Are we living in some, even if the robots haven't like conquered us and it's Skynet, are we in some weird like creatively bankrupt time where creativity is just completely commoditized and it doesn't exist anymore, right? So that's kind of the spectrum. So what do you think? Johnny's the one who's become the most get off my lawn in our time together. Johnny, what do you think it looks like a year from now?
Well, I kind of hate these topics because because I don't know, like they're just I don't know. What's going to happen is going to happen, and I just hate talking about it. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. I've gone off in a. I don't think that we're. I think that we're ultimately selling experiences, and I think that that's always the case. I think everything that's sold is actually an experience of some sort. That's the why advertising is handled the way it is. It isn't like, here's a toothbrush. It's like they're going to make you fall in love with this toothbrush or whatever. So I've talked extensively about this, but I think that if you create more to the experience than just the story, this is me speaking as an author, not storytelling in general, that there's still, you are bringing something to it that isn't replicable by AI. And I've also seen a lot of, I guess this is me defending. So I'm not actually making predictions, so I don't actually know what's going to happen. I just think that there's, anytime that society goes strongly in one direction, there's a smaller but passionate minority that goes in the exact opposite direction. And so I guess I'm saying that no matter what happens, my intent is to continue to chase that smaller group of people who want physical books.
Yeah, I totally agree with Johnny there. I think that I think the next year is the continuing collapse of discovery. I think that there's so much garbage out there, and there's like this glut of synthetic supply that has already started, and it's only going to cascade more and more and more. And so I think that there's going to be more. There's going to be more. I think there's going to come a point where Amazon gates stuff, and it's like, okay, like you have to disclose if something is AI now. And they say that doesn't matter. It will matter. Like it will absolutely matter
if it doesn't already matter.
Yeah. There, to break in here, and I probably should have said this to start up. There has recently been a big surge of anti-AI sentiment, especially among younger readers.
Yeah.
And I want to touch back on younger readers later, but they're looking for books that have AI in them, and there's somebody who got their book canceled because it had AI, or they accused him of having AI. I don't know if it actually did. And there is the danger of like a witch hunt, because we've seen that AI, like detectors, are full of shit. Like you could put in a book from 20 years ago and it'll say, 90% chance this was written with AI. So it's sort of an interesting thing there. But yeah, there are like putting labels on it. But I know AI is also like creating fan fiction for people. And there's like a revolt in the fan fiction community where some people like it, some people don't like it. And I don't know. It's just like what you'd said before, I don't know, a few episodes ago about like you could push a button and have a story catered exactly to you.
Yeah.
We're like further siloed away from the experiences that other people have. And that, like, what does that
not
do?
a good thing. But to Johnny's point, that means there's going to be people who are looking for that exact opposite experience. And so I think that very soon, I mean, I'm sure it's already happening, but it'll be a little more widespread. You're going to have, handcrafted or, like non-AI creativity is going to have a label like organic does, right? Like if you buy organic groceries, that it's a little more expensive, but it's a little bit better. And I think that handcrafted will be in that same way. But at the same time, it allows, for people who don't really care and they just want like cheap entertainment or individualized entertainment, they'll be able to get that too. So I think that what we're starting to see is the cost of production going way, way, way down over and over and over. So like, I think the cost floor for Hollywood, for example, is dropping faster than its green light culture. So like right now, I don't know if this is 100% right, but I think that production right now is the lowest it's been since like 1995, if I read that correctly, which is kind of absurd, right? Like that's low. So that means that a lot of like upstarts, there's like a lot of hybrid companies that are, using a little bit of AI here and a little live action here, and some shops that are just AI, and you're going to see some new weird entertainment like born. But there's going to be people who embrace that, and there's going to be people who reject that. So I think the next year is going to be like the start of a big divide that will be just the way it is in 5 years.
Now, getting back to the younger readers, there's been quite a few like articles and like thought pieces out there recently about how people aren't reading anymore. Young people aren't reading. TikTok has eroded our ability to engage with long form content. And reading is suffering because of that. And if younger people aren't reading, who's going to be reading in the fucking future? I did watch a very interesting YouTube video by a woman, Cynthia. She goes by Lady of the Library. And she was talking about how a lot of this end of the reading panic is missing the point. And for most of history, most people weren't literate. It's only something that's been the case for the past 200 years or so, where a majority of people were or are in the United States and England and places like that.
In Florida, it's just always been that way, right?
99% illiteracy rate in Florida. In fact, once you learn to read, it's like a Darwin thing. They come and kill you to ensure that your future won't continue.
So are the people you're keeping in the basement, is that sanctuary?
Yes, I'm actually saving people. I didn't want anyone to know that. But yes, I'm creating my own little think tank, I guess you would call it. Okay, so basically the premise of the piece that she had was literacy among the masses is a recent phenomena, and it makes the working class people more informed. More informed means they're more likely to vote in their interests, and that's a problem. And that's a problem for the people at the top. They don't want smart people. So there's, and it goes into a very anti-capitalist sort of thing, the whole thing. We're basically keeping you working class means being productive. And the more productive you are, the better you are. And reading isn't a productive habit. It's not a productive hobby. And essentially, there is an effort to like dumb people down by lessening reading, making it seem like it's not cool. It's on the outs. There's no point in it anymore. And I don't know, it got me thinking, because I already have those thoughts about how people are kept dumb on purpose to control them. And it just, I never really thought about it in this aspect. Like, how much is a decline of reading a real thing versus a narrative that they want you to believe? And now I'm going to sound like all conspiratorial, but
well, just a little. I mean, but I think
just
that
a wee bit.
I think it's more of like a pendulum swinging. And I do think that people are reading less. But I think, again, going back to Johnny's point, because so many people are reading less, there's going to be people who become obsessed with reading and become obsessed with long form content. And there's going to be like, who reads in the future? The future. Like, there's always going to be people who teach their children that reading is important, and that, like they see it as a lost art. There's going to be people like, my children, like my son's not much of a reader at all, but I can absolutely see him understanding the importance of it. And when he has a family, he'll want to like make sure that his children like at least have the if they're not reading, it's because they've decided they don't want to. Like, he has kind of decided he doesn't want to. It's not even an attention span thing for him. It's not that TikTok's eroded his brain. He's never really liked reading. That's not how he consumes. Where my daughter is very much that kind of consumer, and still, like she goes through, I think last time we talked, she said she's done like 40 books this year. So I do think that people will always read. I think the ratios will change. I think people's relationship to stories will change. And I think if we're, jumping ahead to 5 years and the next kind of like part of this conversation, I think the split that we're seeing in this next year, I think we're actually, we'll see a much bigger division where the industry is actually two different economies and they barely touch. So you've got like commodity, which is just infinite near free content, and you kind of see where we're going already with that. But in that instance, the artists are not really profiting there. It's all the platforms. The platforms profit, and the scarcity is trust. right? It's community, it's access to a real person. And this is what Johnny is selling. He's a reading club on his Kickstarter. That's cool, right? It's a relationship with the author, and I don't think that that's ever going to go away. There may be people who just don't give a shit about it, but I think those are the same people who don't give a shit about it now. They're just looking for, whatever free content they can get, or cheap content, or numbing content, or whatever. They're not looking for that now. They're not going to look for it 5 years from now. But the people who are engaged in that kind of experience now, they're going to want a place to put their energies. So I think that readers aren't going to pay for words in the same way, because words are basically free, right? It's more that they'll pay for citizenship in a world, and a sense of belonging, either to the author's world or to the community around the author's world. And I think that that's a major difference. And in Hollywood, you're going to see the theater experience, for example, is going to continue to shrink, where you're going to get fewer human branded event films every year. But I don't think that's ever going to go away. Like, I think that if you the community aspect of, if you look at some of the biggest movies right now, they're not big Hollywood movies. We've talked about this a bunch. They're small horror movies that didn't cost a lot to produce, but people wanted that shared experience of going to a theater and feeling scared with other people in real time at the same time. And that's cool. I don't think that will go anywhere, but I think that there will be a whole new middle that emerges in professional film and TV, where you've got the cost of creating this content is 10 to 30% of what the legacy cost, and it's made by smaller teams who own their IP. And that is where I find just a stupid amount of potential. I think that what we're sitting on, the IP that we've developed over 15 years, and the intelligence that we've developed over 15 years, and the relationships that we've developed over 15 years, 5 years from now, that can really leverage into our own films, our own TV shows. And that's super exciting to me. I think that we need to keep the love and the care of story, and also offer experiences into the world, because I think that's where it's going to. Baricio, imagine you could have your own Baricio chatbot who shit talks you into doing better, whatever. I think that the individualized experiences could be, because you already said, Dave, fanfic is right, you can have your own fanfic, but if you had that licensed through the storyteller themselves, they give you a path to engaging with your favorite characters, that they kind of set that up. I think that'll be a big part of what's happening in 5 years.
Yeah, let me see if I can articulate some complex thoughts on this, which I've thought a lot about. It seems to me that we're conflating a few different concerns. And the most natural human concern is, am I going to be okay? That's ultimately what it boils down to. For creatives, there's two branches of that. There's, can I still do what I love? And the answer to that is, unless, I was going to say, unless a totalitarian regime lays down some law. Hey, it could happen. But barring
That'll
that,
never happen.
barring that, you will be allowed to create. You will be able to create. Now, can I make a living at it? Well, okay, so that's the real question. So you can always, AI is not going to threaten your ability to write books. The question is, will it impact your ability to sell books? And so this is where I come back to conflicting opinions I have on AI, anything generative, because on one side, it's destructive because of the hands it could be put in, the mass market hands. And then the idea is that we're dumbing down content. But by the same token, I kind of am excited about the democratization of content creation that is enabled by that exact same tool. Because no longer do you have to be a huge studio with a multi-million-dollar budget or hundreds of millions of dollars. You could, in theory, create something amazing that you aren't taking jobs away. The difference is you were never going to be able to create it in the first place.
Here. Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of the way I think about it, because I will use it for so when I was posting more on Substack, I'm not really right now, I would use it to create post images or something like that. And I'm like, I am not that I was never going to pay someone to create post images. The difference is I just wouldn't have them. And it's the same thing. Like you could have a film when you wouldn't have a film. You're not taking jobs away from somebody else if it's at a certain level. Now, at the bigger level, that's where it's like, well, whose hands is the tool in? And so I kind of think like it's the argument to me seems like the threat to the mainstream. And I don't know about a lot of authors out there, but like we've gotten enamored with the idea of the big, huge seller. And, you know, you want to be the next James Patterson who's appealing to this like right down the middle of the mainstream. Speaking for myself, and I think speaking for you guys, we've never like shot for the mainstream. It's always been something that's niche, something that's off to the side. And so the question of will it threaten creators who want to create what I'm going to pretentiously say is a little more artistic, a little bit more of like expression of what you're doing and a unique take rather than just here's more of the same. I think here's more of the same. Like I don't really like the mainstream. Like my tastes disagree with the mainstream. Well, what else is new? Like there's so much stuff that I'm like, why is this stupid shit being made? And why does everybody love this stupid music or this stupid whatever? That's where I really sound like get off my lawn. So I don't know, from a less mainstream perspective, it feels like it might be an enabler rather than a threat.
There is one of the things I researching this came across was something called the barbell theory. Basically, hobbyists thrive, and the people at the very top, you know, they're safe. But all the people in the middle, all the working creators, are the ones that get squeezed out. And I think this is really evident right now in the video game space. Because of the AI use of chips, prices have gone through the fucking roof on consoles, computers, the memory that you need to make these things. Prices have just, it's insane. And because of this, it's having an effect on game developers, game makers, studios. Like Microsoft recently like laid off a whole shit ton of people after they bought a bunch of people like 2-3 years ago. And now they're closing studios right and left. They're only interested in making the video games that they know will sell. And they're just cutting out like a lot of the really good games that were like artistic. It sold all right, but not enough, I guess. And that effect is like killing studios. It's killing jobs. People that spent their whole lives like wanting to make video games, they're out on their ass right now. And the only thing they can do is hope another studio opens or do it themselves. Now,
I think they'll do it themselves. I think 5 years from now, that's it. That's the market correction.
Yeah, can I just insert, because I'm realizing like after what you said, I'm realizing like without clarifying something, I could really sound like an asshole. Like, to be clear, it is screwing a lot of people. I think of studio
now who's
musicians.
worried about context?
Well, right, exactly. But it is screwing, like, think of studio musicians. You don't need to hire a bunch of people. You can just go and create an AI band, and that's fine, except unless you're the guy who plays guitar and isn't necessarily creating, but you're a working musician, and you're just technically really good at what you do, well, so is the computer. So that is obviously a threat and something to reckon with, and sort of in the column of what is the right use of the technology in certain hands. I was just speaking directly to like the producer, the creative level that I'm not particularly threatened by.
Yeah. And then you have like animation studios like cutting all their people, people that have real talent, and they're fucking gone now. And I don't know where the space will be in the future. Yeah, you'll have a lot of people doing it themselves, but will they have the reach and the capacity to compete with these?
Do they need to? Do they need to compete?
Yeah, I think that it depends on how they're competing. So let's jump all the way to 10 years, because that's the end of the show, right? And life as we know it. I think that publishing and entertainment, they stop being, like separate industries. It's more like a unit of business in this world, and the formats are just outputs that it renders. And so if you're thinking about like what is not the story, but what is the experience, like a successful story company 10 years from now, they have world architects, they have, you know, a small human creative core, but it's about the, you know, if you're us, like if you're us, we'll be making shit, like we'll be making our own TV, we'll be making our own movies. If you're Johnny, you're making books. And you know, but we're still selling experience across that spectrum. We're still selling a relationship with the stories and a relationship with us as creators. Like that is what the commodity market can't duplicate. So the scarce assets are going to be worlds people love and audiences that are reachable without platform permission. And that could be, you know, Johnny selling, you know, books in person at the Pecan Festival, or it could be, you know, a little show that we make that maybe only 1,000 people watch and pay for, but that's okay because the economics of it work. It costs us little enough that 1,000 paying people watching that show is still profitable for us. And so I think that look, the tools are undoubtedly making shit miserable for a lot of people, and that will only come true over time, and there needs to be a correction. And so tools make, you know, it's price compression, right? And as price compression gets more and more a thing, then the relationship assets are what compounds. So
well, it's the scope and the speed, I think, is because if you think like, I remember hearing something in an AI, sort of a satirical comment that was like, spare a thought for the buggy whip manufacturers. Like there's all sorts of things that great artisans were able to make that are no longer relevant at all. I mean, what if you were great at driving stakes on a railroad? What if you were like, you were calligrapher? Well, calligraphy, I guess, is still there in a niche format, but you were like, what's that?
Woodworking.
Or like, I mean, I guess these things are all niche, but like lithography, or my mom hired a key liner. Like if anybody knows what a key liner is in graphic design, like there's no use for that anymore. It's just that it's so fast. It's like we had no warning. But honestly, Sean, the perspective you're giving is one of the more optimistic ones I've heard. Now, it does imply for creative people who want to try and make their own thing with their own terms. Well, if you're not, if you're more of just kind of like, you know, somebody who doesn't maybe have that might be a little, it's still daunting. But I love the idea of, I got fired from a big animation studio. Now I'm going to make my own thing because I have the tools to do that.
Yeah. So I think you're going to need, a lot of creatives, and I'll count myself among them, aren't very entrepreneurial. They aren't the kind of people that can seek out opportunities. So there's going to be a skill set that these people will need to learn to get their stuff out there and to, you know, get attention, which I think is going to be...
It is a harder thing.
The hurdle. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree with that for sure. But I also think communities will form around it. I think that discovery, like we've allowed algorithms to be the main voice for discovery for many years now. And I think that there will be a whole, just like organic as far as handcrafted will become a thing, so will organic discovery. You'll care more about what somebody refers to you. Oh my God, I saw this show. And it's almost like, I mean, you've seen this in music forever, right? Like a band is really cool when only a few hundred people know about the band. And then once they get signed, it's like, oh, fuck them, right?
They sold out, man.
I think there will be TV shows like that because the cost of making a TV show will be like what it used to cost to make an indie album. You know, it's the price goes down so much. And you can have a team of 5 people, and instead of them being a band, they're a team that makes a TV show.
Yeah, true.
You know, you got and so it's like, who sees this TV show? And like, there's diehard fans who just know about this TV show. I think that will be commonplace 5 years from now.
But yeah, I think we're so siloed in our communities, though, it's hard to like have a groundswell of something that just rises to the top.
But it can.
I think it
can and will happen, and I don't think it needs to happen. So, like, look at something like Dungeon Crawler Carl. I mean, that's a fucking juggernaut. He is going to make so much money. It's such a big deal. and it came out of this little lit RPG, whatever. Like it could have been anything.
Yeah, but that's a huge untapped crowd of people that love that kind of thing. And
but don't you think that
already
exists in other places too?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I guess so.
Or I mean, A24 is a studio, and I know that there was some controversy with A24 and AI recently. From what I understand, it's not the way people are interpreting it, but whatever. Like, go back before
I don't know
that.
about this
That's a studio that's known for making quirky, weird films, allowing them to be capitalistically competitive with small, non-capitalistic driven. This is a stupid way of saying it, but you know what I mean? Like they don't go blockbusters. They're like, let's be the studio that corners the market on the non-blockbusters.
Yeah, no, that's definitely their identity.
All right. Well, I think we've reached the end of the show just because the hour is up. I mean, we can talk about this forever, but
that might be the least bad I've felt after an AI future discussion. I mean, there's still, the decimation of society and capitalism run amok, and we still have.
There's definitely like it's representative of a lot of stuff that I don't like. Where I think money is the root of all evil in a lot of this. Where it's just capitalism it's not capitalism isn't the enemy. It's this unrestrained capitalism that is just it's dark. And it is scary, and there's some dystopian shit. But I also think that there are opportunities. That there's opportunities for creative people who want to do creative things and not ask for permission. And that's what we've been talking about for 15 years. We started because we just wanted to make our own shit and, bond with our audience and do it again and again. And I don't think that is changing. I think the nature of that is changing. But I think that if we change along with it and stick true to ourselves and stick true to the audiences and the experiences that we want to create, then I think that, even if the world isn't awesome, our relationship with our art and our audiences can still be awesome.
I did have one last pessimistic thought here.
Oh, good.
Well, that's shocking.
I want to leave you all on a negative note. Because right now AI is being subsidized. The cost of AI is costing the companies way more than it's costing you to use it. So unless that price goes down, and I don't know how it can, because a lot of this is due to limited resources. If the price is to hit, if they get their reckoning and prices have to go up, are you then pricing out all the small creators that could benefit from AI?
Well, I don't think so, because I mean, we've talked about this before, but I think that it's going to come a point where like the models get better and better and better. So like the frontier models now, are going to be the base models in the future, and they'll be cheaper to run because they find efficiencies all the time. So I do think that there are massive market corrections that are happening. Like I know exactly what you're talking about, Dave, where like some of the users of Claude, like if you have a max Claude $200 a month, account and you're maxing it out every day, then you're actually costing Anthropic something like $7,000 a month, which is insane. Clearly those economics are broken. And the water usage and all of it. There's like all kinds of bad shit you can say. But I do think that stuff gets corrected over time. But the greed isn't going to be corrected. Greedy people are greedy people. And so I do think that they'll always find a way to squeeze people out. And I just think that you need to be intelligent, you need to be vigilant, and you need to be allegiant to your art and your audience.
Revolution!
See. Viva.
All right. Well, that is it for this week. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to be kept up to date and get our weekly dispatch, go to smarterartist.net/dispatch, and you can get it there. That's it.
There you go.
See you guys next week. Adios.
They chase the spark, we own the dark. They feed the scroll while we leave a mark. No tricks, no hacks, just the code they lack. Yeah, we stay on the rails while they fall off the track. Smarter artists never die. Yeah, we don't lay stone for spectacle, don't frame for applause. We build the boring way, with discipline and pause. They expect the penthouse view before the footing is set. A crown without calluses, a win without sweat. The craft is in the mortar, not the hunger for more. Not the facade that cracks with a hollowed out core. You want the trick, it's tedious, it's thankless, it's true. Show up with intention till the structure starts showing you. They go fast, we go far. Paper planes versus iron bars. They chase spikes, we stack days. We build the house that never fades. Let them run, let them fly. Smarter artists never die. Yeah, yeah. They chase vanity metrics that die at the peak. We pour the slow foundations while they sprint for the streak. We don't ran out retention to whatever blows through. We're setting corner posts for storms they never knew. We're not racing to the ribbon, we're widening the base. Let the footing fully cure before the frame locks in place. Every draft's another course, every session's a beam. We're not chasing momentum, we're constructing the dream. They go fast, we go far. Paper planes versus iron bars. They chase spikes, we stack days. We build the house that never fades. Let them run, let them fly. Smarter artists never die. They'll throw parades while you're still setting the forms. Pop champagne and glass towers while you're bracing for storms. Some nights you wonder if the blueprint's a lie, if the long game's just patience that forgot how to fly. But scars become low bearing when the structure survives. When the fast builds crack open and the slow ones stay alive. We don't ask for permission, we don't wait to be seen. We're drafting our futures in the quiet in between. They go fast, we go far.